Okay, we are waiting to go live. I hope we're live now. Oh my gosh, good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. And today we're going to talk about speaking gigs. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about speaking gigs. I've been getting some people reaching out to me saying how, when, what, where can I do? And today I'm going to talk about the 5 steps you need to take to land your next gig right now. And we're going to see how serious you are about getting on stage. Like I said, this isn't rocket science. It's just something that you really must want to do. So today we're going to go through the 5 steps. I'm going to share this out first. I'm going to pin first, then I'm going to share, then I want you to share as well, and then tell me who I'm talking to today, because I want you to get on stage before the end of this year. It's going to take a little work, but you know how I am. It's going to take a little bit of work, but I know you can do this. Seriously, if I can do this, you can do it as well. Okay, I'm going to go share it out to a couple of folks, see if they want to join us. I will soon introduce myself. And for those of you, if you're really wanting to get on stage, I want you to take part in every action that I'm going to tell you about today. Oh my gosh, why am I adding to my story? This is so weird. Facebook, stop giving me buttons. So we're going to talk about speaking gigs. Now, I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning and I answer any questions you have around business budgeting and solo entrepreneurship. And of course, I give you tons of unsolicited financial advice. That's just what I do. But on Tuesdays, I take a little bit of time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, I talk about how to feed your budget. Specifically on Tuesdays, I talk about how to feed your budget through speaking. Speaking is the one thing that I did in order to build up my coaching program that I had when I first started my business. It's the cheapest way. It was the easiest way for me to get out there and market myself. And I know that you can do it. So we're going to talk about a few steps. We're going to talk about 5 steps that you can take right now so that you can land your next gig. And I want you to take part of this also. Hey, Meta, how you doing? So let me go ahead and get myself, I got notes. Y'all know when I write down notes, this stuff is going to be serious. So, and Anne, I'm going to answer your question. Give me a moment. I'm actually may just send it to you one-on-one, but I just felt compelled to really do this today. So the other thing that I want you to pay attention to is my little freebie. Let me see if I get all my hands together today. It's the 3 skills in order to land your next 5 speaking gigs. So 1 is in the comment box. And then we're going to actually get started. Thank you, everyone. Hey, Whitaker David. Hey, Meta. Hey, Ann. Thank you. I decided I'm on a hair journey. I'm trying to figure out my next hairstyle. So doing quite a few things. And I put on some makeup and some real clothes. Amazing what that will do. All right, folks. I don't want to give the 20-minute story, but I'm just going to give you a little background for anyone who's new. You don't know who I am. And I want to talk about this journey of getting on stage to be a speaker. I meet a lot of people that want to be a speaker. Now, I did not set off in my life to be a speaker. I'm not a big stage grabber. I've never really wanted to go after the big audiences. I'm a behind the scenes person. That's why I'm comfortable being at home a lot. But when my business coach told me that speaking was the best way in order for me to build my business, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. It was a lot of prodding and pushing in order to do that, but I actually started doing that, and I followed just some simple things in order to get things going. And after a while, I realized this was the best marketing method for me, so I just kept going with speaking. So to date, I have, I don't know my official count. I actually started doing this like for reals, probably around 2017. I did it before, but it was like, all right, I'm going to focus on it. So maybe about 3.5 years. I have over 70 plus speaking engagements. I've landed 1 TEDx talk. I've had a lot of appearances from other things. Like I just landed a gig to do television for the next few months as a financial contributor for Daily Blast Live. I've been on the TED Radio Hour, which is going to air in March. I've also been on local network news. I've gotten quite a few publications where I'm doing some writing, been on quite a few podcast interviews, radio stations. So The thing is, you can do this. You can definitely do this, and I want you to be able to do it as well. And there's some things that I have learned over the years that has helped. And even now, I've kind of segue, I guess. People think I'm an MC. So I'm going to be emceeing quite a few events this year as well. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to get out your pens and paper. Please go ahead and share this to somebody you know is a speaker and who's struggling to get on stage. Because there's a difference between people who call themselves speakers and people who are struggling to find speaking gigs. And I'm going to tell you, I actually do have a course. I do have a course on how to land gigs, because my little wheelhouse is I like to search for things. I mean, that's what I like to do. All right, let's go ahead and just get started. 1, the first thing you need to do is figure out your audience. There are too many of y'all out there speaking to everybody. Now, you can speak to everyone, but you need to be very, very clear how you're going to pinpoint those people in the audience and get that room really, really small, okay? But for now, in order to get started, you need to figure out your audience. And I don't care if you've been speaking for a while, but if you are struggling to get on stage, you need to figure out the audience that you want to go after, and you need to figure out the industry you want to go after, because those two things will go hand in hand, and it will help you craft the words, the message, the look, so that you can get in front of these people faster. I'll give you a great example. People who want to speak to millennials. Now, I'm not about to shame anyone, but I know some people who are 65 plus that want to target millennials, but they don't want to stay up late and they don't want to know all the new technology. And it's like, you're going to have a hard time connecting with people if you don't want to meet them where they are. So you got to really look at that. You know what? Even for me, if I want to be in the tech industry, walking around in my Easter dress, that's not going to really help a lot, because I'm not going to really connect to people. So you need to know your audience and you need to know your industry so that you can pinpoint ins and outs, pain points, how to talk to them a lot faster than what you're probably doing right now. Okay. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing? It's time for us to do lunch soon. So you need to figure out that audience. And we've been friends for some years now. So she knows I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but that audience and that industry is going to be clear. So when I ask a lot of people, like, well, what industry do you want to target? People are like, what do you mean industry? And here's another example. People say, I want to talk to women. Okay, we are in the United States. There's like 306 million people in the United States? Let's just say roughly 60% of them are women. That's a lot of chicks to talk to. That's a lot of women. So how are we going to narrow down those women? Are we talking about women who stay at home, women who are young, women who are in high school, women who have kids, women who don't have kids? And then, all right, let's just say you want to talk to women who have kids. All right, are we going to narrow down to an industry? Ones who are working in construction, ones who are bakers, who are chefs? It really does help for you to think through who you want to go after and where they are, because that's the biggest thing with finding gigs. Where do you find these people in abundance so that you can get in front of them? So that's the first thing. Figure out your audience, okay? 2, create a list of organizations that have the audience. I mean, I know it sounds like some crazy talk, but create a list of these places that have your audience. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you cannot find at least 5 to 10 places that have that audience, you're going to struggle. You really are going to struggle. So and this is not necessarily a niche thing. I just need you to go find the audience. Even if the event is big, I need you to find where this audience is and find the organizations that have that audience. And I'll just be straight up honest. If you cannot find the organizations that have that specific audience, you're going to have to just get a little bit broader that gives you to the next level of where those people are. So say, for instance, you want to work with women who have 2 kids under the age of 10 who are real estate agents. Okay, so you can't find that specific audience, but one of your criteria on there were real estate agents. Okay, You may be able to find those people in that audience, okay? So start making the list. And I want you to make a list of 10 right now, of 10 organizations that have your specific audience. Not just a group of women, not just a group of humans, but as close to your audience as possible, okay? Create that list today. The third thing is I need you to evaluate your assets, all right? And make sure they reflect what you want to say. All right, so here's the thing with speaking. I mean, I'm just giving you one way. There's a billion different ways to get speaking gigs. There really are. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's just a bunch of different ways. And so here's some of the things that I have done that I highly recommend. And I think you do need to evaluate your assets. Anne has a question. I'm going to get back to it. You need to evaluate your assets. And I'm getting fancy today, y'all. I got a window capture screen. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to look at your assets. So here's my website, PhyleciaJones.com. You feel free to go and look at it. If you want to book me, please do. But you got to look at your engagement. Sometimes you need to show proof that you've been out there on stage. So at my website, you can literally go and see all of my speaking gigs for the last few years. So when people say, we only want people with experience, boom, I got it. You're not going to be able to tell me that I have not done this before. I have publications, I have been on TV, and I have done interviews. So this is actually, when you go to my website, this is under engagements. This is just proof that I have done a few things. And I'm going to tell you something really quick. You know, I did not have all this stuff when I started, but sometimes you just need a handful. If you've been in business for a while, if you are a speaker, you can get creative and come up with the things that you have been doing. Okay. The other thing is, I know a lot of people want, videos and oh my gosh, or speaker reel. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't have a speaker reel. I honestly don't. But what is important? These reviews. So I don't know am I pointing the right way? There I am. These reviews are so important. I don't care if they're written. The written reviews are great. You need them. If all you have are written reviews, get them. At this point, I want you to upgrade and start getting videos, okay? They will help. All of these assets are things that you need in order to pitch properly and to have street credibility, okay? This is what we are going for. Now, I have a whole bunch of other things, but I'm only going to focus on those for right now. But if you can go to my website, it's PhyleciaJones.com. You can go to keepoldmrsjones.com. It'll lead you all to the same places. But what I really want you to do is start looking at your assets, okay? Make sure your assets reflect what you are talking about and who you are talking to. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Denise. Hey, Pam. How are you doing? And of course, if you have any questions, put them in the comment box. I'm an open book. I want to help you as much as I can. So any questions, and please don't let this be a day like, I just don't know what to do. I'm telling you to ask a question. Seriously. Okay. Anne is asking, what do you think about meetup groups? I actually think meetup groups are fine. I have no particular ins and wrongs with meetup groups if it's the people that you need to get in front of. Now, I will say this. I'm kind of, I didn't say this at the beginning. I might be speaking a little bit more to people who are trying to convert people into coaching programs or into services. So meetup groups are fine as long as the group has the audience that you're going after, and make sure it's a viable meetup group. I don't have any problems with them. Okay. In the beginning, or if you are trying to revamp your speaker life, you kind of can't turn people down. Does that make sense? You can't turn people down because, if you're thirsty, you need to go drink something. Yep, you got to go get that dough, David. All right, so if you got any questions, please let me know. Please share this out to some folks that need to hear this, especially if you are a speaker and you're not booking enough gigs. And like I said, if you want to work with me on any of this stuff, just let me know. I have a course. We can work one-on-one. I've loved working one-on-one with people. One of the clients that I had in a Jumpstart session, Summer Alexander, so excited for her. She got booked to speak at South by Southwest. If you don't know about what South by Southwest is, it is huge. It is huge, and I'm so excited that she got on stage there. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. And she's gorgeous, she's smart, and she knows exactly what she's doing. So excited about that. Nicole is saying more women need to be on stage. The statistics around this are insane. Thanks for all the inspiration, making my way up there. You know what? More women do need to be on stage, but what I found, Nicole, is people don't want to do the work. Now I have 3 steps. I got 2 more for you, but I'm going to take a moment to talk about this. The things that I have done looking at the website, and I'll put up my website again for you. This is a lot of work. These engagements, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of, all of these things. This is a lot of connecting with people, being around people, the right place, the right time, the right attitude, the right pitch, the right day. Nicole, a lot of people just don't want to do the work to get out there. And yes, we need more people on stage. We need more women. We need more women of color on stages. But sometimes when you present work to people, they don't like it. And I totally understand. And we think we can hire somebody to do this stuff for us. Yeah, sure. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I won't say no to anything. Nikki's saying some Meetup groups are actual groups or organizations outside of Meetup that just use the tool to promote their events. Yes, I have nothing wrong with Meetup, Nikki. I definitely have, nothing wrong with Meetup at all. Sometimes you need to find that right audience. Denise is saying Kurt's band, I think that's her bae, is playing at South by Southwest. So it's really cool. Hey, Cassie, how you doing? All right. So for those of you, I have 2 more things to tell you about the 5 steps to land your next gig. And Denise is saying it takes grit and clarity. Yes, it does. You have no idea. So the first thing I told you need to do is figure out that audience. It'll help if you know your industry, who you want to talk to, and where you can find them in abundance. Number 2, create a list of those organizations that have the people you want to talk to. And I'm going to give you a bonus thing on, I'm going to give you a bonus after we're done on those organizations. Number 3, evaluate your assets. I just showed you my website. Look at your assets. Look at the assets that reflect what you want to say and who you want to say it to. Do you have photos of you speaking? Do you have nice headshots? Do you have a one sheet? Do you have a website that says you are a speaker? I meet a lot of people who call themselves speakers and they don't have anything that reflects that they are a speaker and who they want to talk to. I keep telling you this, your cat and dog cannot be the only people who know that you are a speaker. They don't pay enough. I'm serious. My dog, she's eating kitty litter. You're going to take money from something that eats kitty litter? Come on, y'all. It's not going to work. All right. So make sure you evaluate your assets and make sure they reflect who you want to get in front of and what you want to say to them. Okay. Number 4. All right. Here's number 4. Here's going to be a hard one. You need to clean house with who you're hanging around. Now, I know a lot of you might be saying, Phylecia, how does this have anything to do with speaking? Let me tell you this, a lot of business, a lot of speaking, a lot of this is all relationship based. And we've heard this a lot in business. And if you are hanging around people that are calling themselves speakers, but are unable to book a gig, you will not be able to book a gig too. It is the blind leading the blind. It is misery being with its own company. Okay. You need to clean house with who you are networking with, who is in your inner circle, because all the things that I have told you about figuring out your audience and your industry, creating your list of organizations, evaluating your assets, who in your circle can introduce you to organizations that will book you. Ooh, I know. Am I hitting some heartstrings here? I know, because this is so true. I will say a lot of people are sitting and waiting for folks to just book them. It doesn't work that way, okay? You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to show up. And sometimes some people are going to have to see that you're doing things. Now, I didn't make these rules. Now, Like people only want to be on your success train if they could see your success train. And me sitting at home 5 years ago, nobody would book me. I'm just going to be straight up honest. Some of the people who have booked me for gigs wouldn't even talk to me 3 years ago. Not that I'm saying I'm going and kissing their butt, nothing like that, but people don't want to hang around with people who aren't doing things. So you're going to have to make sure, one, you're doing things, you're getting yourself out there, and two, you need to be sure you are around people that will help get you to where you want to go, even if it's inadvertently getting there. Now, quite a few of my gigs I have gotten just from being inside of some circles. Like I said, I'm pretty open with this. I do a lot of pitching. Oh, trust me on that one. I do a lot of pitching, but quite a few, and it has taken some years. Now, I need to put a caveat on that. It has taken some years so that people can recommend me for gigs, but it takes some time, but you got to evaluate who you are around. And I've told you this before, like if I can't make a gig, I know people I can call to fill in, or I can highly recommend. And then I also, I was on a speaker committee. 2 people that I know will deliver, that I know are great, recommended it for the gig. I actually recommended 5 people. They chose the 2 that they liked. But when you are doing things and people know who you want to talk to, sometimes you need to be very clear of who you're hanging around, okay? You need to be around people who have stages, people who are getting on stages, and people who have access to stages. If you want this bad enough. You don't need to want it, but this is if you want it. Nicole is saying, yeah, I'm totally up for the work. I've solely done online marketing up to this point. And that is some freaking hustle. It's painful, actually. Doing work to get in front of people, that feels so much better. Am I going to be a bubble burster, Nicole, and tell you that it's some freaking hustle to get in front of people, too? So that same hustle with network marketing ain't much different when it comes to getting on stage. Nikki said the flip side of that is all of the folks who want to collaborate to get in on your perceived success find that fascinating. Yeah, Nicole, that is, Nikki, I'm sorry. Nikki, that is kind of fascinating too. When you are doing things, a lot of people want to be your friend all of a sudden. I got a lot of new friends over the last year. All right. Nothing negative. It's just reality. The last thing that you need to do is that you need to start pitching with a simple ask. When you get all of your stuff together, when you figure out who you want to talk to, you come up with your organizations, you evaluate that you have the right assets to get in front of people. And then when you clean house with your network and get around people that can help you get to where you want to be, you just start with pitching with a simple ask. That's it. Now, I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, there's more work to it. Sometimes it really does take having some ovaries and just asking. Like, I'm just straight up serious. You got to ask for what you want. And sometimes when you clean house with who you're around, you got to ask them to help you out as well. But you got to be very careful on who is in that circle to help you get to where you want to go. And here's the thing, y'all. Stop asking people who don't know anything to help you get somewhere. I know we all say ask. I say that. Ask the people around you. You never know who's around you, but sometimes you can't ask broke people for money. Come on. There was a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'm going to misquote it, but basically he was talking about the civil rights struggle and for Black Americans and African Americans in the United States. And he said, you can't keep telling someone to pull themselves up by their bootstrap when they can't afford to get some boots. So that's the thing, so if you're hanging around trying to pull yourself up by the bootstrap and everybody around you doesn't have boots, it's not going to help you a lot. Okay. I don't know if that made any freaking sense. I'll go evaluate that later, but just pretend like you know what I'm saying. All right. So here's the deal. If you want to land your next gig, and it doesn't really matter what kind of gig it is. To be honest, if it's speaking, this is what you need to do. If it's television, this is what you need to do. For those of you who want to do more writing in huge publications, this is what you need to do. If you are a singer, you're a dancer, this is kind of what you need to do. You need to kind of be a part of the process. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki got my analogy. You need to be a part of the process. What happens with a lot of us, we sit here and we just assume the process is going to land on our heads. No. The only way a lot of this stuff works is if you make it work, okay? So here's the thing. I do have a course on this. I love to find speaking gigs. I find this fun and fast, and I want to share that with you, okay? But here's the thing. I want you to go get my freebie first. Now, you can go to keepupwithmrsjones.com and get all the things that I have there. The course is only opening at limited times. The course was $67 when I launched it. It ain't $67 anymore. I'm sorry. You're seeing me. You don't want to see me. But here's the thing. I do have a freebie. It is the 3 skills every speaker must master in order to land more gigs. These aren't things that I'm just making up. These are things that I have learned over the last few years that could possibly work. I put the link down in the comment box. I will put up, I want it to be fancy, so that's why I got all these things going on right now. But if you go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/3 skills, or you can just go to the main website, it's going to be there as well. These are the 3 things that I have learned after doing this for 3.5 years that will work to get you on stage a lot faster. And it's all about researching, being organized, and becoming known for something. And even last week, I talked about you got to become known. Like I said, this is just a quick list. But if you want to keep getting gigs on a regular and consistent basis, especially from referrals and from people recommending you, you're going to have to get known for something. And so in this thing, it's just a quick checklist. It's a checklist in 3 categories. And my promise to you is that if you can check off all those things, you will be getting more gigs. And if you cannot, then that means we need to fill in the gaps so that you can get to where you need to go. Okay. You can tell I don't do this a lot. I got all my little buttons everywhere. So if you go to Keep Up with Mrs. Jones, check the link down in the comment box. But honestly, these are some of the things that I think will help you to get on stage a little bit faster. It's not a little bit faster, but it will happen fast. You just got to put in the work and just know that you got to figure out that audience. You got to create the list of organizations. You have to evaluate your assets so they reflect who you want to get in front of. You need to clean house with who you're hanging around. You need to clean house, and you need to start pitching with a simple ask. And here's the bonus that I wanted to tell you about the organizations. Here's something very tricky, and I go over this in my course. Hey, Olivia, how you doing? I know a lot of us, we think we want to get in front of an audience. That's what a lot of us do. We want to get in front of an audience, and that's who we want to talk to. But the reality is the audience is not really our audience. That's not who we're selling to in order to get on stage. The audience is just kind of a byproduct. The real audience now, your real customer, your real client, the person that you're trying to pitch to, the speaker coordinators, the event coordinators, that's your real audience. They are the barrier. I'm a speaker coordinator. I am the barrier for you getting in front of who your real audience is. And if you can't sell me on booking you, it's not going to work. So that's my little bonus. Like I said, I go over this in my course quite a bit. And I actually talk people through this in my one-on-one about who your real audience is and who your real client is. I know you need to get in front of the audience, but to be honest, you got to sell yourself to people like me, the event coordinators, the speaker coordinators, whoever the wall is, that's who you got to break through first in order to get on that stage. So that's why everything needs to be in alignment so that people will say yes to you. Okay. And that's why you need to, clean house with who you're hanging around, because sometimes who you're hanging around can make this go a lot faster or a lot slower. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comment box. I've been long-winded, but hopefully I'm hoping this was useful. I wanted to do this in like 25 minutes with a little bit of time for Q&A. But if you have any questions, put them down in the comment box. Let me know if this was helpful for you. if you have any questions, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, you know how to find me. Go to the website, askthebudgetologist.com, or I got a bunch of websites, y'all. You can find me on everything leads to everything. But if you got questions, make sure you fill out the form. If you're here live, put your questions down in the comment box. Seriously. It may take me a bit to get back and answer you, but I'm going to get back and answer you. But I want you to make sure that you keep doing all these things so you can get on stage. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving you good, useful information to get you out there. And Nikki, I saw Nikki was speaking. She looked so adorable. Nikki, you looked adorable. I saw you speak. I didn't see her speak, but I saw her on Instagram. So, and that's the thing with all the people that I have helped, I will stalk you so that I can see what you're up to. Anne is saying, can you give a quick suggestion on the best way to reach out to organizations? The best way to reach out to organizations is one, you need to go and figure out who the person is that you need to contact. So when you go to a website, see who it is that you need to talk to. And if you cannot, all right, let me start over. Go to the website, see who's the point of contact, reach out and ask. That's it. That's what you need to do. If you cannot find them, go and search through social media some kind of way to see if you can find a person that's connected with them. The best way to do a lot of that is to find a human. Try to avoid the info at whatever website, email address as much as you can. Even though send something to it too. But the biggest thing is try to find a human and try to reach out through whatever channel that you can, email, phone, and all you got to do is just ask, hey, do you book people to be on your podcast? Do you book speakers? What can I do to get on your stage? And make sure you do enough research so that you're not sounding like a desperate and thirsty person. But that you have a message and, like, hey, I've been doing a lot of research. I love your organization. And I have a talk that I think will work really well for your people. So I just want you to know who is the person that books your speakers or books your guests or books your interviews. I would love to talk to them. So that's it. Hey, Michelle, like I look fabulous for 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, I did this on purpose. I got to do some marketing videos. I'm going to do marketing videos. That's why I'm all dressed up. So, and let me know if that question was answered well enough for you. If anyone has any more questions, just put them down in the comment box and I will answer them. It may take a bit, but I'll answer them. So hopefully this was helpful. And my biggest call to action for everything is invite me. I may not be able to come to all your gigs, but it's just my way of knowing that you're actually moving and taking action. The saddest thing that I've ever seen are people who've ever come to my live course, who've ever worked with me one-on-one, who's ever taken my online course, and then they never go book a gig. That's kind of sad for me because, that means there's something else there that was getting in their way. So that's why I just want to know, like, just invite me. And you'd be surprised. What I will do is that I will send your event to other people that I know that are looking for it as well. So, all right, folks, I got to go do some income producing activities. So do you. You need to go book a gig. So take care. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning, and we're going to answer Anne's questions, and we're going to do a review of our 48-hour revenue challenge. And we're going to talk about when failure is not an option. So take care. Happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Happy stage hunting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye.